This is ABC7 News at 11, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, I'm Haley Wilkes. Thank you for joining us tonight. Topping our news at this hour, a shooting in Bradenton today sends a 12-year-old and a 19-year-old to the hospital. Police say family members were involved in this shooting. ABC7's Rick Adams has the details.
Well, the shooting happened inside the home right back there. Police say it stemmed from an argument between a stepfather and a stepson. Gunfire erupted Thursday morning inside this home in the 1900 block of 6th Avenue East in Bradenton, sending a teen and his brother to the hospital. Police say 19-year-old Rufus Adams suffered a gunshot wound to the head and upper body. He was in critical condition, and his 12-year-old brother was shot in the lower body. We're being told his condition is stable.
Them kids used to play and stuff. I go by there and see them. They never had a problem like this here. So I just feel for the community.
Police tell us Adams and his stepfather, 36-year-old Joshua Rapola, got into an argument, and then Adams grabbed a gun, followed by Rapola grabbing another gun. Rapola fired the gun, striking the 19-year-old at least 2 times, and police say it appears the bullet that struck his 12-year-old brother was accidental.
They're getting ridiculous, you know, everywhere with all this shooting.
It's not yet known if any charges have been filed. In the meantime, this is a shooting that has left this East Bradenton neighborhood in shock.
I've been here right at 4 years. I never thought nothing would happen like this here. You know, I sit out on my porch late at night and stuff, and early in the morning.
And authorities are continuing with their investigation. If you know anything more about this shooting, you're being asked to contact Bradenton Police immediately. Reporting from Bradenton, I'm Rick Adams, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Rick. More than a dozen homes in Punta Gorda are in need of repair tonight due to wind damage. The Charlotte County Fire Department responded around 6:30 this evening to the River Haven Mobile Home Park located on Burnt Store Road in Punta Gorda for reports of a tornado. When responders arrived at the scene, they found that 13 homes sustained some degree of wind damage. Luckily, no one was injured. Charlotte County Emergency Management was contacted and immediately consulted with the National Weather Service, which has not reported a tornado in South Punta Gorda. But Bob, if you have any updates on that, I know sometimes those reports come in later. They have to assess and see if it really was a tornado.
Yeah, they're going to be looking into it. Some of the photos and video coming out of there. There was definitely a water spout, and they do confirm that. Obviously, at around 5:45, a water spout was spotted near Charlotte Harbor, and also this is a picture of what that water spout actually sent in to us from a viewer near Cape Hayes in Port Charlotte, just to the south of Port Charlotte as it made its way through that area northwest at 10 miles an hour. And a lot of times storms that far away from the actual radar site, which is in Ruskin, all the way down to actually near Fort Myers or just to the north of it near Punta Gorda, cannot see those low showers, or I should say low spin-ups as far as water spouts go. The signature isn't as prevalent as it is when it's closer to us into, say, Manatee or Sarasota counties. Right now, those storms are well off to the northwest now after providing an intense lightning storm and a vivid display of lightning off into Pinellas County over the past hour or so. That is now since winding down just to the west of Pinellas County. Currently, we have clearing skies and the temperature still warm, 82 degrees, the dew point 72, winds out of the south-southeast at 6, and the pressure now rising at 30.14 inches. And it looks as though we'll continue to see high pressure dominate. Well, we're watching a little bit of convection developing near the center of tropical depression number 4, but the story is it still has a very hostile environment to move through, so it may not make it over the next several days. Well, more on that and the rest of the tropics coming up in a few minutes. Haley?
Thank you, Bob. The pilot and only person on board, a Cessna 152, has died after crashing in the Florida Everglades. The plane's owner reported it missing Saturday, but the plane wasn't found until Wednesday night when a search team came across it. The identity of the pilot has not yet been released. The FAA and the NTSB are investigating what caused this plane to crash. In New York City tonight, they're still shaken by what's being called the assassination of a police officer. The 48-year-old mother of 3 was ambushed by a lone gunman as she sat in her police vehicle with no chance to even defend herself. We now have security camera of the video that captured the killer in the act. Here's ABC's Richard Cantu.
A long line of NYPD Blues saluting a fallen officer. An ambulance bearing the body of Miosotis Familia, shot dead execution style Wednesday. These firefighters snapping to attention as an American flag flies atop the ladder of a fire truck, and this flag with a blue stripe in Familia's honor. Surveillance footage shows the last moments of Officer Familia's life. and the life of her killer, Alexander Bonds. The video shows Bonds approach the mobile command unit and fire a fatal shot at Familia in the driver's seat. Another camera shows Bonds racing from the scene of his crime. He doesn't get far. Police swarm the area. They catch up with the cop killer and gun him down.
Officer Familia is dead because of one reason and one reason only. That's Alexander Bonds and his hatred of the police.
His girlfriend called 911 to say he was acting erratically. Hours later, he pulled the trigger. Friends and family of the officer comforting one another at a memorial outside her precinct house.
Great person, beautiful human being.
It's heartbreaking. She deserved to come home at the end of the day.
Ready, move! The killing one day before new NYPD recruits are sworn in.
Perhaps you and your families are questioning whether you're making the right decision today, especially after yesterday's tragedy in the Bronx. I'm here to tell you, you are making the right decision.
Richard Cantu, ABC News, New York.
And closer to home, Sarasota County may soon be footing millions of dollars in medical bills after the state Supreme Court ruled in favor of private hospitals. Doctors Hospitals Sarasota, Englewood Community Hospital, and Venice Regional Bayfront Health say that they should be reimbursed for $300 million worth of care given to indigent patients in accordance with a 2003 law. The county argues that law is unconstitutional because it grants privilege exclusivity to private hospitals. They say they're at a disadvantage in relation to Sarasota Memorial Hospital, which has property taxing authority as a public entity. In response to today's decision, SMH issued this statement, quote, "If the for-profit hospitals choose to proceed to collect these funds from the county, we will defend the lawsuit, as we've done in the past when for-profit hospitals have launched high-profile efforts to dip into public funds to subsidize profit margins." The case will now be remanded to the trial court. Peter Lear is now officially the city manager of Northport after a unanimous vote by commissioners. He's been serving in an interim capacity since former city manager Jonathan Lewis left for a job with Sarasota County. Lear has worked for the city for nearly a decade, most recently as the finance director. He now leads more than 530 employees and a city with a budget of $110 million. Lear is an Army vet and familiar with the area he's serving, having grown up in Venice. Agriculture experts in Florida are looking for help fighting an invasive species. The Florida Department of Agriculture says experts are starting a citizen science project that trains Floridians to identify and report air potato vines in the state. Air potato plants grow aggressively and they can quickly overtake and kill other vegetation. The plant is found in 60 out of the 67 counties in Florida. Researchers also want to know if people see air potato leaf beetles, which eat the plants. Sea turtle nesting season is well underway, and Mote Marine Lab says so far the season has been booming. Experts say the nesting activity could set a record. So far, 3,193 nests have been found on Venice, Casey Key, Siesta Key, Lido, and Longboat Key beaches. Sea turtle nesting season ends on October 31st, which is when Mote will know for sure if we have another record-breaking season. Straight ahead, Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with the official Suncoast forecast. Plus, the investigation into alleged voter fraud in the 2016 election continues, with the state handing over some important information. And the countdown to the highly anticipated meeting between President Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin, what they're likely to discuss.
It's fine that other people like you. It's more important that you like yourself. And I'm comfortable with every part of me. Meals on Wheels coming to my door as someone who's housebound assures me that I'm not forgotten. They care that I'm okay. My name is Asha Ida Bell. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Now's the perfect time to work with California Closets. During our Shades of White event, save up to 20% on our beautiful white finishes for any space in your home. Contact us today for your free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Looking for something fun to do on a Friday night? Then come to Music on Main, the first Friday of every month at Lakewood Ranch. Enjoy free live music, dancing, great food, and lots of fun for every family member, even the furry ones. Meet up with friends, enjoy activities for the kids, or make it a special date night. And be sure to stop by the ABC7 booth and say hello. Mark your calendars for Music on Main, first Friday of the month, 6 to 9 at Lakewood Ranch. Brought to you by ABC7 and these sponsors.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Let me introduce you to the ultimate Florida window. Do you feel safer with this or this? You'll be proud too.
Going on now. For every 2 windows you buy, get 1 more free. Call today.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
ABC7 News at 7, weeknights.
Now's the perfect time to work with California Closets. During our Shades of White event, save up to 20% on our beautiful white finishes for any space in your home. Contact us today for your free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Well, Bob, just about every night we have some kind of really pretty sky. There was a rainbow tonight and some beautiful colors out there.
Yeah, I went out there and checked out some things too, and we'll be talking more about that in just a minute. Here is a look at that beautiful sunset tonight. Earlier today, we had the high clouds moving in from the storms that were developing down south. We talked about with the water spout and damage that occurred down in Port Charlotte. Well, those clouds spread to the north, and those clouds created this gorgeous looking sunset. On the Van Wezel webcam, you can see those gorgeous colors there with the yellows and pinks at times as the sun was setting there. And a lot of people out on the Tony Soprano Pier catching some fish, or at least trying to. A viewer photo sent in, this one from Paul Taylor, again capturing the essence of that night or this evening. Just a lot of nice looking colors out there as a result of the clouds that were around from these storms that really blew up. Now, the storms weren't widespread like they normally can be during this time of year. The reason being is that we had some drier air. We talked about it yesterday in the mid to upper levels. We're talking 30,000 up to 50,000 feet. And that usually tends to quiet the storms down a little bit. But boy, they weren't too quiet in Charlotte County and South Sarasota County earlier as the storms moved through. Now they're off in the Pinellas County area. They were around earlier, say around 4:30 or so. They started to really break out, and then the water spout, the damage occurred, a tremendous amount of lightning associated with it. So once in a while you'll see that as the dry air is in place, if 1 or 2 storms can break through that layer, then it really starts to fire off and can turn severe. We had a severe storm yesterday in a similar situation in Pinellas County. No storms around now, but rainfall totals have been impressive in some areas. Now 2.5 right there just south of Punta Gorda. And about 1 1/3 inches north of Inglewood and south of Venice. Venice getting their fair share of rainfall. But notice most of Manatee, in fact, all of Manatee County, with the exception of the southeast corner, did not see much rain at all. North Sarasota, not much, and also into Hardy County, fairly quiet there. And that's a direct result of this dry air that kind of slipped in. You can see that covering parts of Florida, but it's going to move out. It's going to move out rather quickly, and we'll see a return to moisture over the weekend. Better chances for more widespread rainfall. And the news is this trough of low pressure in place and the dry air out ahead of tropical depression number 4 It's not going to allow it to develop. In fact, it'll more than likely rip it apart, and it'll turn into just an open wave by, looks like, Sunday. Well, satellite imagery showing the clouds on the decrease across the southeast as high pressure continues to work in, and we have 82 degrees right now with a dew point 72. Winds out of the south-southeast, pretty light at 6. Those winds will turn more northeasterly in time, and then the high today was just 1 degree above average. The low was right at it at 75, and we had 93/100ths of an inch of rainfall yesterday, and it looks like our monthly total a little bit below, but that is soon to change. Temperatures right now into the low 80s to upper 70s. The Meadows now at 80 and 89 at Waterleaf Lake, Sarasota 79, and 79 in Port Charlotte, 79 as well as in the Rotunda, Inglewood at 80. The forecast tomorrow, still only a 30% chance for late day showers and storms, so it won't be as wide a coverage as we normally would see, but we will see some around. And the RPM forecast model not depicting a lot of rainfall tomorrow. Tropical update showing this system starting to develop a little bit more thunderstorm activity near its center, but it's poorly organized at this point, and as I expect, it will eventually fade away as it heads toward Florida. Now, what's interesting to note is that if it does fade away and opens up as a wave, it will increase our moisture availability, it looks like, Wednesday and Thursday. And so we may have to bump those forecasts up a little bit as far as rain chances go. But right now, Wednesday and Thursday at 40%. Southeast winds turn to the west at 5 to 10 knots tomorrow, and the light chop out there. The water temperature really warm at this point, 91 degrees. And as far as the tides go, the next tide on the screen there, 152 in the morning, 152 in the morning, that's a high tide. And there it is again, and sunrise will be at 6:52 up. Clearing skies, warm, 76 for a low, and then for tomorrow, another day like today. Not much chance for rain, but there'll be a few, and then the rain chances staying fairly high right through much of next week. Again, we'll have to adjust Wednesday and Thursday if we get some of that tropical moisture our way. Had a chance to get out to Tony Saperito Pier tonight and see what people are doing out there. I'll tell you, it's being used. It was developed back in 1979, and it's gone through some storms and had to be repaired at times, but kids were out there fishing with their fathers, enjoying it, even though they weren't catching a lot at this time. Right before I got there, they said they caught a lot of mangrove snapper. But as soon as the camera shows up, the fishing shuts down. I guess they're kind of shy. They also can watch a beautiful sunset, as you see right here, and they were doing a little fishing there. These folks from Tennessee down on vacation. He said it's actually cooler here than it was in Tennessee. Look at that, reel. It lights up. I hadn't seen one of those before. You can catch some nice birds flying around there as well. And there's a guy, he's just getting there. He's going to go fishing for sharks overnight at the Tony Saperito Pier, which is always kind of an interesting location to catch fish. But as soon as the sun sets, they usually catch the catfish, and that's what happens. But the sharks come out as well at night. Well, here's what's been going on in some of the waters. Captain Trey Walker-Dietz taking his brother Paul, and they caught this Goliath grouper. That's right. You can't keep those. You got to keep them in the water, too, if you catch them. They can get up as high as 600 pounds at times. And Mick, I should say, Colas getting this one. Jay Tinsky, the fly guy, sending that photo in of a nice snook they caught yesterday. And this lady here, her name is Kathy from New Jersey, was walking near Coach Steve Herrick, and he's with the Beach Fishing Adventures. He said he saw a bunch of jack. He cast a line in. He had to go get another one. So he gave her the pole, and she brought that Jack Crevelin. That's called serendipity right there. Beach Fishing Adventures and a nice snook. Easton, I believe he's around 11 to 12 years old, and there's Coach to the left having a good time. Still catching those big snook out there. They're out of season. He can't wait until season starts in September.
He's been really successful.
He has.
All right. Thank you, Bob. Florida will soon hand over some voter information being sought by President Donald Trump's commission investigating alleged voter fraud in the 2016 election. The state will release information that is already public record. However, it will not turn over driver license information, social security numbers, or the names of voters whose information is protected, including judges and police officers. With the investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election on the nation's mind, the world awaits the meeting between President Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin, wondering what may come from it. ABC's Maggie Rulli reports with a look ahead to tomorrow's meeting.
Thousands of protesters at the G20 summit in Hamburg, Germany on Thursday, clashing with police who are battling back with water cannons and pepper spray. Police expect upwards of 100,000 to flood the streets as world leaders arrive for this year's summit. President Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin have both landed and are ready to finally sit down face-to-face on Friday.
My guess is that President Putin will walk in that door with a very specific agenda in mind, and President Trump needs to be prepared to handle that.
With tensions between two of the world's biggest superpowers escalating, President Trump is expected to push Putin on Russia's involvement in Ukraine and Syria. But one topic likely off the table, Russia's meddling in last year's U.S. presidential election.
I think it could very well have been Russia, but I think it could well have been other countries.
With President Trump skirting around the issue only the day before the big meeting.
So my big question is, do we see President Trump who wants to be loved, even by Vladimir Putin, or do you see the President Trump who wants to be seen as a tough negotiator?
The White House is calling this face-to-face a normal bilateral meeting, but the Russians have their own agenda. They say it's a full-fledged seated meeting, and it's one where Putin is likely to press President Trump to ease U.S. sanctions on his country and to reopen Russian compounds in the U.S. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, Washington.
An update now on the condition of Congressman Steve Scalise, who has now undergone another surgery for wounds sustained in last month's congressional baseball practice shooting. The Republican House Majority Whip was originally moved out of intensive care on June 22nd after undergoing multiple surgeries. He was readmitted to the ICU yesterday due to concerns of infection. MedStar Washington Hospital Center says he tolerated the latest procedure well, but remains in serious condition. Sports is next, but first, here's Jimmy Kimmel.
Now more than ever, it's important that you see this.
I DVR'd the Oscars.
Oh?
And I just watched it last night.
Really?
Jimmy, that was crazy. I got Best Picture wrong.
Yeah.
I was in my house like, no!
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Just go do it. Go do it. If you're not in control, then who is? Live above the influence.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think It Up.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Keep up with your investments and market trends by watching the ABC7 Stock Report. Get a recap of all the day's stock market activity. Be sure to watch your Suncoast News at 6 for the ABC7 Stock Report, sponsored by Sunset Cadillac.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Now, sports.
A Sarasota gymnastics coach is honored as the 2016 United States Olympic Committee National Coach of the Year. Amy Borman is the Evo Athletics women's team director and one of 2 coaches receiving this prestigious award. She previously coached Olympic superstar gold medalist Simone Biles before coming to Sarasota. The USA Gymnastics program nominated Borman for this honor. It then went to an Olympic panel.
Passion is something that just comes from within. And that's what drives you to show up on the days that you don't really feel like doing it. I love watching kids grow. I love watching kids learn and just building that relationship with them through the years, especially in an Olympic year when there's so many sports being showcased at one time because everybody's watching the Olympics. To just be recognized for what I do to help athletes in the sport.
Borman is the first gymnastics coach to ever receive this award. Congrats to her. The Tampa Bay Rays were back at home tonight at the Trop, where they took on the Boston Red Sox. The Sox taking the lead in the 3rd inning with a run, but that moment is short-lived as the Rays put up consecutive runs in the 4th, 5th, and 6th innings. Final score 4-1, Rays win. There was an obstacle in the roadway at the Tour de France today. Cyclists dodging a runaway umbrella during stage 6 of the Tour. The wind carrying the camo umbrella through the racer's path. Luckily, no one was hurt. Chris Froome continues to hold on to the top spot at the Tour and that coveted yellow jersey. That's a look at sports. We'll have our lotto numbers right after this.
Now's the perfect time to work with California Closets. During our Shades of White event, save up to 20% on our beautiful white finishes for any space in your home. Contact us today for your free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-685-6422, 800-685-6422.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I am creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah.
A promise was made, a promise that hit the beaches of Normandy, a vow that captured Iwo Jima, a contract that weathered Tet, a pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq, an IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
Now's the perfect time to work with California Closets. During our Shades of White event, save up to 20% on our beautiful white finishes for any space in your home. Contact us today for your free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
Live from New York, a budding relationship. Scarlett Johansson may have found someone special to spend the summer with. The actress is apparently dating Saturday Night Live's Colin Jost. Over the long 4th of July holiday weekend, the pair was photographed getting dinner together in East Hampton. Jost had just celebrated his birthday the day before. Kesha is releasing her first single in 4 years, but will it be enough for a comeback? The pop star is also announcing a forthcoming album. Wow, that hair, that's something. I'm trying to, I'm just getting a crack out of it. Okay. Well, it'll be her first album since a high-profile legal battle with Dr. Luke over a lawsuit accusing the music producer of sexual assault and harassment. The Rainbow album is due out August 11th, and it features appearances by Dolly Parton, Eagles of Death Metal, and the Dap Kings. So that's kind of a wide range there of collaboration. So maybe it'll be good. Yeah. She's an interesting character.
The hair thing, you got to stand out in a crowd, and she's certainly doing that.
Especially when you're in that industry, you have to make a name for yourself, and you have to use a lot of hairspray. I would know about that. Agent Aquanet. Yeah, that's what our director Dave calls me because I always have hairspray nearby. Gotta have it. We'll see you tomorrow.